We're gonna be drinking, man. We're getting drunk, talking football. You see the Vikings head behind me, so you know what I'm talking. You know I know what I'm talking about, right? Right? I got a jersey on. It's hockey. Don't pay attention to that. But hey,
Playoffs.
man, it is always a little laggy in the beginning, but we're doing a live show. It's hilarious. It's insightful. You're gonna be a better fantasy football player because of it. So please stick around for just like a couple minutes, and it will be smooth sailing after that. Jason, this is the Fantasy Red Zone, dude. I am Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and this is Jason, the lucky bastard youth coming at you live from the West Coast. And we're a day early, but hey, it's Mother's Day, and I got to go see my mother. So we're doing it a day early. We'll be back regular time on Monday, hopefully. But yeah, man, you might be not getting drunk tonight because it is not Friday, but still, have some fun with us, please. Jason, please tell the public how they can help the show because we need it. Look at our subscribers, man. We need to get to 1,000. Please.
Please. Sorry, let me click here real quick. Yeah, if you guys made it this far and you enjoy two friends talking about fantasy football, then please hit the subscribe. Press the like. We like the likes. Leave us a comment. Let us know your rankings. We want to know your rankings. And then we're also on Spotify, the Fantasy Red Zone. And Tyler, you're going back to. Are you taking your wife to Bakersfield too?
I'm going to the butthole of California, Bakersfield. No, not the bowl of California. We're talking about the butthole of America. Did you go to Reddit? They're like, what's the worst town to live in? Dude, my hometown, Jason's hometown, is like number 2 on the list, man. So I got to go back there. But hey, dude, we got the good Mexican food over there. And, I get to spend time with my parents, and that's always cool, too. So
you going to show her around NOR?
Oh, dude, I took her. I was like, hey, this is where I went to high school or whatever. And some kids were walking across the street. They literally had a ton of trash and threw it straight on the ground in front of us, like on the fucking crosswalk. And I was like, yeah. I was like, dude, this place is trash, man. I don't think they care. It's like, what's the difference? I can put it in a trash can. I can throw it on the ground. It all looks like shit. Whatever. And I was like, dude, Ray. Yeah, my wife, I was like, dude, I'm so sorry you had to see that.
We used to do that in rich people's neighborhoods to try to bring down their value.
Gosh. Yeah, we used to do all kinds of stupid shit, dude. When you're 18,
I know.
25, man, you do shit you regret all the time. Then you think about it all the time before you go to sleep. Apparently, you're supposed to see a psychiatrist or a therapist, and then that gets out of your mind. But
your wife's gonna be a therapist.
That's a radio commercial that I heard. Jason, let's get into the news in the Brews. We got the Brews. We got some news, and that's all we need to have a good time around here. So, Jason, Najee Harris, this is breaking news. Wee woo. Breaking news, Najee Harris wants out of Pittsburgh. Jason, spell Pittsburgh. It's not like you think, dude. There's a fucking H at the end. But, Jason, what do you think about Najee Harris requesting a trade?
Last night, I was just thinking, who could be my fantasy MVP in the season? And I was like, you know what? Let me really see where Jaylen Warren is going in the drafts, and maybe he could be somebody I could look into for my fantasy MVP for 2024. I think that might happen now, maybe. Well, they didn't take his 5th-year option, right? So it's not like they really care. They're like, hey, bro.
That could have been to trade him, like, hey, dude, we're going to fucking trade your ass, and now you have another year on your shit. So it's like, I get it.
And we know how Arthur Smith likes to use backup running backs.
Yeah, so, Jason, I think that you hit the nail on the head, man. Like, I don't care where Najee Harris goes. Like, if he went to Dallas, he still has to deal with Ezekiel Elliott, who's pretty much the same player. I would think that Jaylen Warren gets a huge bump. We talked about the best stat for running backs right now is forced tackles. Yeah, forced missed tackles per attempt, and Jaylen Warren was at the top of that list last season, and I think it was number 5 the season before that. So Jaylen Warren, man, if you gave him a full workload, would be a top 5 running back in the NFL, maybe. So that is something to keep your eye on, Jason, because that might be a steal in the draft. All right, man. Jaden McDaniels, Jason, and Malik Neighbors, you know who they are. We did a whole goddamn show on a couple of those people. 10,000 bet on who wins Rookie of the Year. which one of them do, I'd be like, dude, Malik Neighbors, you got to give me 2-1, man. You're a quarterback, dog. You're a quarterback. How am I supposed to win this? I'm a wide receiver. I got to get 1,500 yards.
The Neighbors is like on one of the worst teams.
Yeah, and worst offensive line. He better be catching a lot of slants for fucking 100 yards, dude.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Jason, what do you think about that? If you had to bet, I mean, Jaden McDaniels by far is the best bet, right?
Yeah. Jane Daniels.
I like Malik Neighbors, dude. I think you're gonna lose $10,000. That's pretty.
I don't even have $10,000, but I'll take that bet.
Man, I used to clean pools. I sold my pool route. I rented an apartment, bought a bunch of drugs, and hung out and played video games for a year. 10,000 goes fast.
Did you do it at that time? Oh, this is when you like moved to Oregon, right?
No, this was with Parker. I moved out with Parker with $10,000.
You sold it at that time?
That's when I sold my shit. Yeah.
Man,
I forgot what I was doing for work. I might not even have worked. I just like, I'm going to be a full-time college student for like a couple months. Holy shit, dude. You got to make some money out there.
We played a lot of Diablo. Diablo 2 and Eastbound and Down.
Eastbound and Down, man. Fungus Among Us. We'll talk about that. Fungus Among Us. Jason, Frank Gore Jr. signed to the Bills. This happened like 5 days ago. This should have been on the last show. I did not know this. I went back and watched some highlights. It's tough, man. It's like you're watching the goddamn Mud Bowl, you know? The something like Bobby Boucher at the Mud Bowl. Like, it is bad. Like, that competition wherever he went to college was bad. But watching him, he's amazing. So, we got James Cook. We got brother of Dalvin Cook. We got Frank Gore. We got son of... One of these relatives has to hit, Jason. One of these relatives has to hit. I want to keep an eye on Frank Gore Jr. going to Buffalo Bills.
Remember when Frank Gore Jr. came back at halftime of the Mud Bowl and won the championship?
Joe Montana. Are you taking off, baby? All right, my wife is about to go party, celebrate. Hey, shout out to my wife. She has her bachelor degree, and she's kicking ass. She already had it for a long time, but now she's really has it. 2 different
All right.
names.
Makes sense.
Dude, college is weird, man. You got it, you don't got it. F college.
I know. I'm still in it. Your mom goes to school.
All right, Jason. Next up, dude. Rashee Rice keeps on hitting people, man. Hitting cars, hitting flesh. This fool went out and hit a photographer in the face. Jason, he already was going to maybe be suspended for half the year. I think that might have been an insider knowing about this right here. So, yeah, dude. Half of the year would not surprise me. I'm going to say goodbye to my wife, talk about Rashee Rice.
Rashee Rice appears to be following the footsteps of one Kareem Hunt. They like to hunt down people and smack them in the face. What did the 5 finger say to the face? Slap. Yeah. So Rashee Rice, if he's gone, he's definitely, or if he misses half the season, he's definitely dropping out of the top 25 for wide receivers. Yeah. Oh, wait, I can't hear you. You're on mute.
I forgot it. Sorry, I was thinking of my wife. All right, next up, dude. We got, dude, the Giants signed Allen Robinson. I was looking at some targets for players because of tight ends and stuff. I think it was either targets or overall. He was number 2 or 3 in targets just like 3 years ago, Jason. Allen Robinson had an amazing season 1 year. I can't remember who it was for.
I think it was with the Bears.
Dude. Fucking crazy, Jason. I cannot believe that he was targeted so much. I just totally forgot about him. But yeah, dude, signed with the Giants with hopefully Rookie of the Year, Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, it was right. He was like the number 1 wide receiver for the Bears, so he got all the attention. Then he went to the Rams, and everyone thought he was going to do great when they're there with Cooper Kupp. And then, last year I think he played for the Steelers, and that kind of a messy offense. So it's kind of getting up there. Can you really trust anybody in the wide receiver corps for the Giants right now?
Hell, Wan'Dale Robinson, I would take a gamble on because, like I said, he got 9 targets for me one time. Is he gone, Jason?
No, he's there. True. I forgot about him. He's like the
he got 9 targets in the first half for me, but now they've got Jalen Hyatt. They don't need wide receivers, man. They need offensive linemen. God damn it. All right, man. Let's go. Next up, man, Zay Jones. Remember I kept on talking about him visiting this, visiting that. I was like, man, all the Titans. So he's visiting Kansas City, Jason. So he's visiting Kansas City, Titans, Arizona, and Dallas. Which one do you think would make the biggest impact out of Kansas City, the Titans, Arizona, and Dallas?
Dallas.
Me too, man. I think that he's better than Brandon Cooks, like especially in the end zone. So if he goes to Dallas, I think he would be on my waiver wire show in the first couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think it will replace like the Michael Gallup role.
All right, dog. Now we have our top 10 tight ends, man. Tight ends. We're talking about breakman. Tight ends were super tight last year. There were no loose tight ends, dude. Loose tight ends, man, all for like the last 5 years. You're like, you got to get a top 3 tight end or you wait till the very end. Now we have 10 tight ends that you can start on your fantasy team, maybe even 12. So this is a change of the times, Jason. I'm going to pee my pants. Oh, my God. Let's get into this. Number 10, dude. You have him, Dalton Schultz, and he's going to be catching passes from a breakout quarterback.
Yep. This guy I have him ranked 10th, I believe, and I believe you need to have him ranked 10th because in the last 2 seasons he has ranked 10th with a similar stat line in 2001 and 2022. He was 6th in red zone targets, and I don't see that changing much. With back-to-back seasons with 5 touchdowns, it's his receptions and his receiving yards that prevent him from climbing the ladders. I don't see signing Stephon Diggs to have any issues, but when Tank Dell returns, he will likely be the 3rd or 4th option on that team. I don't know the timeline yet of when Tank Dell is supposed to be back, but I would see a decrease when he does when it comes to target share. If Tank Dell comes back in week 8, 9, or 10. But before then, I think he should do well. I think when he comes back, he's probably still going to be in the same spot. He's going to finish around tight end 10 at the end of the year.
See that, Jason?
88 club.
First year I played disc golf, man. In the local club. I was the 88th best person at one time.
NOR?
I worked my way all the way up to number 1, dog.
You want to go pro, and then that knee injury happened.
Then I realized that you got to be able to putt. Putt is for dough. What is it? Drive for dough, shit for dough.
Play for dough.
I used to eat Play-Doh, dude. That shit was salty. All right, but yeah, man, sorry, I meant to write his name down. But we're talking about Dalton Schultz, right?
Mr. Schultz.
So Jason, his best season was with Dak Prescott right before he got traded to the Texans?
Yeah, I think it was the season in 2019, 2020 where he had career highs in receptions, receiving yards, and maybe even touchdowns, but he has still been consistently good, still ranking in the top 10 the past 2 years.
No, and I would not mind him I'm in a 12-man league. If I wanted to wait very late to pick up a tight end, I think that he'd be fine. And he'll give me an average of 7 points a game or some stupid shit like that. Have a lot of games, have a couple of touchdowns. But yeah, Jason, the big hit here is they got Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, and Tank Dell. I know he got shot, but still, a lot. You'll see when you have a tight end that's great in fantasy, there's not a lot of other options on that team. And right now, there are 3 better options than Dalton Schultz almost. Plus, they got Joe Mixon, and given that Joe Mixon, I think, sucks. But still, they might just use him a ton as well. They used a running back a fucking ton last year, Jason. Even though it was getting them nowhere. It was by volume, man. They were actually using their running backs. So, yeah, I think Dalton Schultz. I think I have him. Oh, I have him lower than you. I've got him ranked 13th, Jason. But just where it worked out, I just had to put him in here because once we get past the 10th, you and I are just way different. I have Kmet and Hawkinson over him, and even Njoku. But Jason has him right behind Ferguson, ahead of Goder and Kincaid. So yeah, we're talking about Schultz right now, and yeah, dude, I don't blame you, man. Rookie tight. You think about young quarterbacks and tight ends, it's like holy shit. But that fool ain't playing like a young quarterback, Jason.
Yeah.
I put Schultz, man. You can't even see where I fucking put this, dude. I wrote his name. I figure we're on split screen, man. We're on split screen, just like Halo 2004. Sometimes I forget how to. I don't even know how to spell some of these S's and H's and C's, dude. All right, next up, we got. Let me look real fast. Kincaid, man. So Kincaid, Jason, we were in a 10-man league last year, and I didn't care. I mean, you know, it was our other league. It wasn't our main league. And I picked up Kincaid off of waivers because he was doing so bad. And then, dude, Dawson Knox came in or got injured. And, dude, Kincaid was a revelation, man. I was like, he was literally winning me weeks in a PPR league. Full PPR, he was insane. Finished as tight end 11, and it was his rookie year. He was tight end 4, man, for me when I was starting him. Weeks 8 through 12, that was without Knox. So this guy's ceiling without a veteran tight end who's actually pretty good still, has a rapport, and Knox has a rapport with Josh Allen. He was tight end 4, so that is his ceiling. That's why you're drafting him. We have him ranked 9th. Tight end 17, weeks 14 through 18. So Knox got injured, came back. During that, even with that great rapport, man, he's like, dude, Dalton Kincaid's a shit. Josh Allen knows how good Dalton Kincaid is. Knox came back, and it all went back to Knox, man. So he was tight end 17, not even startable. In the last 5 games of the season, over a month, he had 7.4 targets per game without Knox, and 4.9 targets per game with Knox. So almost down 3 targets per game. 2 touchdowns on the year, Jason. Dalton Kincaid, 2 touchdowns. That was during that span without Knox. So I don't like that. Dude, Knox is still on the roster, Jason. 3rd overall with over an 80% catch rate. So when it goes his way, dude, he catches a goddamn ball. 3rd overall in catch rate. That's amazing. He's going in the 7th round. I think that is actually fine because what you are drafting him on, there's not many tight ends that can be a top 5, top 3 tight end. This guy right here proved he could be one. And maybe things change, you know? I mean, they did draft Keon Coleman. I don't think that's good for him. And Dawson Knox, dude, it's not like he's old. And Dalton Kincaid was an old, I think it might be 24 or 25. He was an old draftee person coming out. So, Jason, Kincaid, we have lower than, you and I agree, man. We have him lower than anybody else. And I might be putting him lower, dude. We're talking about tight end 17 with Knox. And then they added Keon Coleman. So I don't know what changed. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, he's 24 years old. This guy, he played the slot position second most in tight ends, and then to go ahead and bring in Curtis Samuel.
And Curtis Samuel, dude. Good call.
Yeah. And they still have Dawson Knox. And like as you said, when they were both on the same field last year, you know, Kincaid he wasn't great. So I don't know why people would want to have him like higher up the rankings. So he's probably going to drop probably behind Pat Fairmouth for me.
Yeah, I mean, Kincaid is the most likely candidate for me to fall out of the top 10.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy because like I'm looking at Justin Boone as like almost top 5. I'm looking at like Fantasy Pros. Oh my god, dude, they got him like top 6 or 7. And it's like, dude, I get that, but what is going on? Like they've added 2 catch pass receivers, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
So don't listen to everything. You got to do your own. That's why you got to do your own research. I get it, dude. But sometimes people are pushing the narrative here. You know, like they want this rookie tight end to go. You know, they want Kincaid to be or push hot shit. You know, I was pushing Marvin Harrison. Maybe that was my hot shit, but everybody's hot shit right now is Kincaid, and Jason and I aren't buying it.
Yeah, I think eventually he'll have his moment where he'll have a whole year to himself. Until then, I don't know, unless they just expect like a huge jump, and for some reason Allen to forget about Dawson Knox. I don't know, but the fact that they brought in Curtis Samuel to kind of tie up that slot role with Khalil Shakir.
Yeah, no shit. Jason, I forgot in the news. There's a new Lord of the Rings coming out with Peter Jackson, and the director is Andy Serkis, who that guy that plays Darth Maul and no, that's not the guy that plays Darth Maul. The guy that plays Gollum.
I know.
Anyways, Jason and I, let's see, Senior Ditch Day, we went and watched Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, and we both cried. So that was our Senior Ditch Day.
I don't think it was Senior Ditch Day. It was.
Oh, it was.
It was the day before our 2-week winter vacation.
Was that when Doug went and he's like, I hate this shit. I don't even know why you guys like this movie.
Doug went and he didn't even see the first 2 movies.
I'm all crying over here. This fucking shit sucks. Fuck you. All right.
You bow to no one. It was
you bow to no one. All right, Jason. Next up, man. Your dude, Turd Ferguson. I own him. I think that we are actually united, man, like a fellowship of the rankings on this guy. Of 9, dude. 9. We got a fellowship of the rankings on a couple dudes coming up.
Yeah, it's the tight ends. This guy was probably the best value pick last year with tight ends. He was drafted as tight end 25, and he finished as tight end 9. He is on one of the highest scoring teams in the NFL, and he led the league in red zone targets for tight ends. He is one of 5 tight ends in our top 10 list, Tyler, to have over 100 targets on the season. And he was also second on the team in targets behind CeeDee Lamb. So we have a tight end who gets the most red zone targets and the second most targets on a team that averages 30 points a game. I think the math is mathing, dude. It's just simple. Get a part of that at 8. Is that where we have him at? 8.
8. Sorry, dude. My hair was going insane. I was like Alfie from the goddamn rookie, from the Little Rascals. No, that's not Ralphie. That's Alfalfa. All right, mister. We have him. Who are we talking about? Ferguson? We have him at 8. Are you done about him? Are you done talking about him?
Yep.
Dude, Turd Ferguson over here. It's all about. So I was just talking about. I'm all knocking down. Who was it, Jason? We just talked about him.
Kincaid.
We're having too many guys. Schultz. I was like, he's got too many options. And like, dude, I've got Cole Kmet. Like, I was like, dude, I'm so high on Cole Kmet, but it's like, dude, they got fucking 3 elite wide receivers. So I gotta limit what I put Cole Kmet. And this guy right here, there's nobody, Jason. There's nobody. It's him and CeeDee Lamb. He led and I remember watching those games. I was a Turd Ferguson owner, man. And I was watching those games. He dropped so many touchdown passes. I think he dropped a ton of touchdown passes, Jason. If I remember correctly, I was like, holy shit, man. This guy, I should be winning every game. And, yeah. So, Ferguson, I think his floor is what it was last year. And what'd you say? What tight end did he finish as?
Tight end 9.
Yeah. So, it's like, dude, like a tight end 9 who's a number 2 target on his team with a ton. I think he might be one of the top red zone targets in the NFL. He is for tight ends.
Number 1.
So, yeah, dude. So I was like, shit.
1.
I might be moving him ahead of some people. Like when I see it, no. I'm looking at people ahead of him that I have. I think I've got him ranked. I like him ahead of Kincaid. Hawkinson's the only one that's bothering me, but that guy's not going to come back till October. We'll talk about him later. I want to put Hawkinson in the top 10 so bad because he dominates. He dominates in every single tight end thing. But the motherfucker's not going to come back till Halloween. All right, let's see.
Yeah, Ferguson, we have him at 8. We have a guy going in the 8th spot who gets over 100 targets a season.
Yeah, exactly. So that's when you're looking at this, I'm like, I remember last season, I was like, dude, there's like literally 12 tight ends that I would not mind starting next season. And Ferguson, I think I had like 10 or 12. And I was like, dude, Turd Ferguson, man, I would love to have him as my tight end 1 if I could build a team around him. So, anyways, don't do it in a 10-man. If you're in a 12-man, I think he's a great pick. Jason, next up, man. Ooh, this is gonna be a good one. Kyle Pitts. I think Kyle Pitts is next, Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know this is an unknown because we say we've never seen it before, but Jason, his rookie season was like 1,028 yards or some shit. That would have been number 1 on the year this year. So we have seen it before. That's what we have to remember, okay? So we just have to like reset our minds. Arthur Smith fucking sucked, okay? We get it, dude. He finished as tight end 13 last year. The lowest catchable target rate in the league at 57%. Given that article was written at the end of October by Falcons.com or some shit. I don't care, dude. That guy got no catchable targets. Now we got Cousins to Atlanta, Jason. Hawkinson, TJ Hawkinson, I just talked about him. He was Kirk Cousins' tight end. He was the number 1 targeted tight end in the NFL through the first 8 weeks until Cousins' injury. And then Hawkinson's leg fell off, so goddamn it. Pitts drafted number 4 overall. We forget, dude. Number 4 overall tight end. We're just talking about people moving up to Brock Bowers. Kyle Pitts was literally, when he came out, was number 4, and nobody had a problem with it, dude. So that is, I don't know if any other tight end that we could even say that about. Let's see. He had 1,026 receiving yards his rookie season, which would have been number 1 on this season. So, Jason, we've seen it before, man. He can do this. He is 23 years old. He is 23, Jason. I feel like he's an old man. He's fucking 23 years old. That is younger than Michael Penix Jr. So
me.
What'd you say?
And me. It's younger than me.
Yeah, and me. Goddamn. He is going at the top of the 7th round right now, and oh my god, dude. I might be waiting and picking up a ton of players, filling out my roster, and pick up Kyle Pitts this year, dude.
I hate this so much, dude. I hate this so much.
Yeah, because I think you owned him, so you understand.
No.
I owned him in a different league. I get it, dude. He fucking sucks.
I've never owned this guy, but
I dropped his ass.
I've seen what he does to people who own him. It's terrifying. It's giving me nightmares. I've seen what people go through. Every year we hear generational talent, and but Tyler, Kirk Cousins is his quarterback, and we see what Kirk Cousins has done with T.J. Hawkinson, man. Like we have to. It's just like Drake London, man. Like we have to think a little more highly on these people because of the quarterback situation. And we know this guy could play, and he could run routes. He's quick. He's big. You know, he was first. He's tied for first in deep targets. He was first in air yards. We just got him. We just need those receptions to bump up and actually get some touchdowns. Year 1, 1 touchdown. Year 2, 2 touchdowns. Year 3, 3 touchdowns. This is year 4. Are we going to get 4 touchdowns this year?
He's only been in the league for 3 years. It's been like 30. Feels like 30. Jason, they got the offensive coordinator. I should have included this, right? I just thought about it right now. They got the offensive coordinator from the Rams. Dude, Tyler Higbee would get like 15 targets a game, okay? And then he get injured. And then he get 10 targets a game. And he get injured. Before they got Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. Hey, man, there is a chance that Kyle Pitts is going to get fucking hyper-targeted. I think I might be all in on Kyle Pitts in the 7th round. If he doesn't go up, Jason, I might be all in on Kyle Pitts in the 7th round.
Yeah.
I'm serious, dude.
I know. It just sucks. I hate it because before Kirk Cousins went to Atlanta, I was like, at the end of the year, I was like, I'm done putting this guy in the top 10. I'm done.
Dude.
And now
quarterback.
we have him at 7.
Yeah. Quarterback targets a tight end, Kirk Cousins. And the offensive coordinator had Tyler Higbee. Dude, what do we know about Tyler Higbee? So many goddamn targets. That's the reason you liked him. So it's like, oh my God, maybe. All right, Jason, next up. Your guy, or my guy, I've always been high on this dude because I want to go nuclear, like Homer Simpson. Nuclear.
Hey, Tyler, Jamie says, what's up? And,
dude,
he drafted Pitts and Ingram, and he might fall for the Pitts trap again this year.
Dude, Jamie. Hey, Jamie, man, miss you over here. Remember, you are invited to the Listener League. You were one of the select few that you are invited to the Listener League this season, and you can draft one of those tight ends in our Listener League because I will be drafting Pitts before you, so you're going to be stuck with Evan Ingram. Anyways. No, man, it's so crazy. I think it's the alcohol, but I'm like, man, I'm reading this shit out loud, and I'm like, it's one thing to do it in my mind and over here in the corner. Now I'm all reading out loud. I'm like, God damn, why am I not all about Pitts this year? Okay.
You know why, Tyler? You know why?
Because I had him last year, and I almost slipped. No, I'm not gonna have any suicidal warnings on this video, so whatever.
All right, George Kittle.
I'm gonna write his name.
All right. So I'm taking this straight out of the lecture of the literature from Fantasy Pros. If you value week-to-week consistency, George Kittle might not be the tight end for you. But if you're a adrenaline-fueled roller coaster enthusiast, Kittle is your guy. He finished the season with 7 games over 16 points and 6 games under 6 points. He doesn't get the same amount of targets per game as, say, like a Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, like Evan Ingram, because of all the mouths they have to feed in San Francisco. But he is found downfield more often than these other players. He was tied with Pitts for number 1 in deep targets. He was number 1 in receiving yards and 3rd in yards after catch for tight ends. That's where his fantasy value comes into play with his 30, 40, 50-yard touchdowns. But how often does that occur? How often does that occur with only 6 touchdowns last season and 3 of them were in one game? Against my Cowboys, I think that's when it happened too.
Well, Jason, you draft Kelce for exactly that. His ceiling in his crazy-ass nuclear games. So it's like you're going to be getting average to below average tight end scores, and then you're going to go nuclear. It's been like that since I feel like for like the last 4 years, man, with that dude. Regardless of who the quarterback is.
Yeah, and there's a lot of talk that Brandon Ayuk or Deebo Samuel might be traded to leave the team this year. And if that happens, I think I will bump him up a tidbit.
Yeah, and you saw that one dude from, was it Miami? He kind of makes those George Kittle catches, man. Like, he was like that one-handed up the middle.
Florida.
So it was like,
Gator. Pearsall?
Yeah,
Pearsall?
Yeah, if they got rid of Kittle, if they got rid of Samuel, I don't think it would impact Kittle. If they got rid of Ayuk, I think it might impact Kittle. So, anyways, oh my God, dude. Oh my God, what are we doing here? Okay, what are we doing here, Jason?
I think we're on to the next.
Who was it? Who did we just talk about?
Kittle.
All right, guys. Sorry, I've been drinking, and this alcohol has a little bit more alcohol than I'm used to. I had to get a different alcohol because I didn't go to work, Jason, because my AC quit working last night. Holy shit! You don't realize how much you depend on the AC until it stops working.
That's crazy because you keep your AC at 80 degrees.
Yeah, you fucking wish.
I wish. Yeah, I wish for that too.
Yeah, that was when I was like, yeah, because I'm poor, Jason. My wife did not grow up poor. She's like, AC, I like 67 degrees, that's my favorite. So, well, fuck.
I would think no AC would have been like, hey man, no AC, I don't have to pay for it this year. So.
I will literally walk around here naked, dude, and put the fans on. I will literally walk around naked with fans on before I turn on the AC. My wife is wearing sweatshirts like, it's cold, it's hot in here. I'm like, well, shit. And then we turn on the AC, Jason, so it's going down. All right, dude?
Hey, Jamie wants to know when the Listener League is.
It's going to be, I'm going to wait, dude, but Jamie's like the main, Jamie's like the, his spot is immovable. He's not getting removed. But no, we're going to do it. It's going to be just PPR. Right now, hopefully it's going to be an 8-man league if we can get 2 more people. We got 6. And, yeah, just your basic shit for the most part. PPR, I don't want to do anything crazy. I just want to have a basic league for the listener league so we can talk about it and relate to a lot of people.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and I was like, I don't know if we would do bonuses for the listener league.
No, I think it's just going to be basic so we can just talk
basic
about
bitches.
it to the public. And it'll eventually might go up to a 14-man league if this show gets big enough. But
When
that's just the way it is, dude.
when it does.
And then like the last, like at the end, and if it gets big enough, the people that get the last 4 places that aren't me and Jason will get kicked off of the island and be replaced.
Yeah.
But if it's Jason and I'm gonna be like, oh, dude, that was luck. You're all luck. That was all luck.
And the top 4 gets a trip to Hawaii or to Bakersfield.
Well, mention Bakersfield.
Bakersfield.
I'm sure tickets are butthole cheap, man, because it's a butthole of America.
Yeah,
All
my
right,
house
man.
is right next to the apartment, so I know horrible B&E, Airbnb.
All right. Okay, dude. All right, you just said Kelce, or no, you just said
Evan Ingram.
Kittle. All right, dude. Okay, we got serious shit. We got serious shit here. Jamie can relate. Evan Ingram coming up. All right, dude. This guy would be higher on my list. I'm like, how am I, dude? I don't know how you can not put this guy higher on your list, Jason. Woo!
Yeah, he has to.
Because you look at the target. I mean, we chase targets. You want tight ends, man? Just go over targets. That's all you want, a tight end. Like when I win the leagues, it's like Tony Gonzalez, with Tyler Thigpen. Stupid shit like that. It's like, dude, just get some. It doesn't matter about touchdowns. Just get a bunch of targets. Get that even score going from your tight end. This guy finished as tight end 2 and had 20 more targets than any other tight end. He had 20 more targets with 143. Now, TJ Hawkinson had like 126, but I rounded, okay? And TJ Hawkinson didn't, got injured and shit. But hey, we'll talk about TJ Hawkinson's leg almost fell off, so deal with that shit later. 3rd in reception yards, Jason, with a career high 963. So we're talking about a guy that had 143 targets with almost 1,000 yards, Jason. He was 4th overall out of all the players in the goddamn world in the NFL with 80% catch rate. And he had a career low. He's usually a deep ball catcher, 8.4 yards per catch. I think that's going to continue on to this next year, Jason. He's just a security blanket for. He is the security blanket for Trevor Lawrence. He saw what they drafted. Not a lot of anybody. It's going to be Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram again. Christian Kirk was injured most of the last year, dude. If Christian Kirk is injured again, this is going to be the Evan Ingram like 180 target show. He was 12th in touchdowns, Jason, with only 4. I think that could turn around with Calvin Ridley leaving, and Zay Jones was always injured, whatever. But still, I think that this guy could get a lot more touchdowns this season. I think there's a lot more room for growth. I think that there's nothing that is going to change his target share and his targets, but his luck with touchdowns has got to change. He's going round 5, man. Round 5. We just talked about Kyle Pitts going round 7. If I could wait 2 rounds and take the gamble on Pitts, I will. But when I am staring down the barrel in round 5 sometimes, I do pick Evan Ingram. I do not think that is unreasonable to pick Evan Ingram round 5.
Yeah, this guy, I think he was 2nd in target share out of tight ends. Yeah. And then he was the number 1 tight end to play the slot receiver. The slot snaps. So his true catchable target rate was actually 80%, Tyler, which was 3rd best. But the problem is he led tight ends in drops with 8. So normally we're like, oh, this is why you can't. Dude, it didn't matter with Trevor Lawrence, dude. He's like, okay, you keep dropping them, you're messing up, but he kept feeding him the targets.
And nobody else.
Yeah, and we chase the targets. I really don't see much changing this year. Like they did draft, what's that dude's name? Brian Thomas Jr., who I think was going to take the Calvin Ridley role.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I forgot about him, Jason. Thank you.
I think he's going to do.
I
think he's going to have like kind of the same thing, maybe like when things start picking up for Brian Thomas, he's going to have nuclear games and he's going to have crater games, and then Gabe Davis is just, Gabe Davis, but. So I don't see much changing out of this offense, and it's going to be him and Christian Kirk mainly. Getting all those targets. Soaking it all up in the Duval County sun.
Duval!
Duval County!
All right. But yeah, dude. So that was a great thing, Jason, that you said. I forget what you said about. Oh, Brian Thompson. I did forget about him. Because I was thinking about who's his competition, man. I totally forgot about Brian Thompson, but still, he's a rookie. Maybe in the second 30, I'll worry about that shit. But dude, Doug Peterson offenses literally go around the tight end. It was Dallas Goedert and whoever was before him. I can't remember. Zach Ertz. Holy shit. So it's scheme and rapport with the quarterback. Go get Evan Ingram. Do not do a fourth round. If he's fifth round, I think it's okay. All right, Jason. Next up, dude, this guy is a whole nother tier because now we're going upside, dog. We're going upside. We're not going floor with Ingram. We're going fucking upside, man. Trey McBride, you owned him.
Yep.
I got like 20-point games and shit.
This guy pretty much saved my season last year when Mark Andrews went down. So by the time that he went down, I was able to pick up McBride, and the rest is history. Anyway, after starting
Jason Uthawald's 2023 season.
After starting the year slow, Zach Ertz went to IR, and Kyler Murray returned from injury, and McBride turned into a McBridezilla and smashed in fantasy. From week 8 on. From week 8 on, he was third in PPR scoring, averaged 6.6 catches and 65 yards a game. He was a go-to guy, as the Cardinals had no true number one wide receiver at that time. They had Marquise Brown. God, they had Marquise Brown, but something went on. Something happened there, and he was pretty much irrelevant. He was first in target share, and now I do think his target share percentage will go down because of Marvin Harrison Jr., but even as a second option, he can be deadly. He was 5th in yards after catch and 5th in target separation, so he is a good runner, and just by the eye test, you can tell this guy's going to be a star in the league.
McBridezilla, Jason, that might be the goddamn... How is that not his nickname, dude? McBridezilla. Like,
pretty good.
Did you come up with that by yourself?
Yeah, on the spot.
You need to fucking post that shit on somewhere, man. McAfee somewhere. I don't know.
McBridezilla.
And so yeah, man, when I was looking at McBride, I was thinking about young tight end. Who's going to get it better? Who can take steps forward, and who has upside? Whereas like Kittle, we know what he is. He's got so much competition. But there's a whole unknown about the Arizona offense, Jason. Same offensive coordinator that drafted Trey McBride and that featured him in the second half of the year. So I am all in on Trey McBride. I think let's see where we have him We have him ranked. Holy shit! I've got him ranked one ahead of you, dude, because I've got Kelce so low. So I have him ahead of Kelce because I think that McBride will get better and better and better and better, whereas Kelce will do good in the first half and then fucking turn it off. So I actually prefer McBride over Kelce, and his upside is that of Kelce. So there you go, Jason. I think that McBride is going to be one of the top 4 tight ends picked this season.
He definitely has the potential to do it.
I fucking hate Kelce. Speaking of which, Jason.
Mr. Kelce.
Mr. Kelce. Kelce yourself out of my goddamn life.
I can't see you. Or no, I can't Kelce you no more. I don't know.
I can't see shit. I Kelce shit.
I Kelce shit.
That's yeah, that's funny. All right, dude, let's get into this, man. Let's eviscerate Travis Kelce. He finished the season as tight end 3. That's good, right? Wrong. Damn it, dude. From weeks 9 on, he was tight end 13 while catching 113. He has not scored a touchdown, Jason, in the last 6 games of a season in 2 years in a row. 2 years, Jason. That's 12 games. Over the last half of the season, no touchdowns. Tight end 13 numbers. We're drafting this fucker in the second round, in the first round. Oh my God, dude, you got to draft him high, man. Fuck that. He finished as tight end 3. This guy is 34 years old, man. Like, he was like a freshman when I was in high school and when I was a senior. That's not good. You should be out of the league, probably. He was 4th in targets, Jason, with 121. That was one more than somebody I can't remember. But still, 4th. So he gets the target still. But that is the fewest amount of targets for him since 2016. With all of those wide, we're like, dude, they've got no wide receivers. They got no wide receivers. Everybody sucks. They've got no fucking wide receivers. He had the fewest amount of targets, Jason, since 2016. What does that tell you, okay? He was 2nd in reception yards at 984. He's had 1,000+ reception yards in each of the last 7 seasons. So that broke his streak. The lowest amount of reception yards he's had in the last 8 years. He was 7th in touchdowns with 5, man. 1 less than Hunter Henry. So this guy's not even catching touchdowns in a goddamn Patrick Mahomes offense. And then let's see. He's going in the top of round 3. So you are paying so much for a guy that will help you 0, dude. Tight end 13 last season, probably tight end 13 the season before in the last 6 games of the season. This is what the Chiefs are, Jason. They're the Lakers of the goddamn aughts. They don't give a fuck as long as they make it to the playoffs. They will flip the switch in the playoffs. You saw what he did, dude. He made me look like an asshole in the playoffs. He caught everything. All the touchdowns, all the targets. They don't care, man. He's getting older. They even drafted more wide receivers. Jason, I am all out on Travis Kelce. If anybody's going to be dropping on my list, it is going to be Travis Kelce below Evan Ingram.
He also was 3rd in drops for tight ends. Just another.
Well, fuck. There you go, Jason. God damn it.
Just another Kansas City player who was dropping the ball all over the place. So riddle me this, Tyler. Big Turd Ward. What happens if Rashid Rice is suspended for 10 games?
I don't care, dude. Rashid Rice didn't do shit for a long time, and he still did terrible.
He was a rookie,
I know. But I'm just thinking, well, I guess that coincided. Rashid Rice's breakout kind of coincided with Kelce going nowhere, but they got Hollywood Brown. So between Hollywood Brown and Xavier whatever, I do think that one of them will be viable and break out at least for a half, Jason. So they got 2 more really good wide receivers, like a 1st-round wide receiver and Hollywood Brown, who was a 1st-round wide receiver. So, I mean, they got some elite talent on there now. It's different, Jason. Kadarius Toney can suck a dick. I'm not worried about that, but still, he's there. They've got 3 first-round wide receivers probably just waiting in the wing, Jason. Isn't that crazy?
So do you think Kelce is going to have more touchdowns than Trey McBride?
No, less.
So McBride's going to have more. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's really the deciding factor between the two, because they're both going to be targeted a shit ton. They're both great after yards after catch. They're both going to get receptions, but it was going to come down to those tight ends.
I'm telling you, dude.
Tight ends, touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm thinking about putting Kelce below Ingram, like really, because of consistency. Like I can count on Ingram probably throughout the entire year, whereas Kelce, there's a 50-50 chance, 75% chance he's going to fall off the goddamn planet halfway through the year.
I think something important to remember is it's not how you start your season, it's how you finish. But
yeah, I dominated. Yeah, and that came from me, Jason. Like I was the number 1 team by like 1,000 points for the first 10 games, and then I fucking sucked. I had Kelce as my tight end, and by the end of the season, I was like, dude, I would trade Kelce for a bag of balls, dude. So he ruined my year, Jason. He ruined it.
I can't tell.
I attacked him, Jason. I attacked him. I did a good job, right?
Grounded him. Ground and pound. All right, ready for the next one?
Yes. Oh, I forgot to share our goddamn things. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We'll share it at the end of the video.
Yeah, do it at the end.
Yeah, make you stick around, dude. Sticky icky.
Jason, yeah.
You and I, are we united on this?
I have him as number 2.
No, you have number 3. You have number 3. I've got a number 2. So, this guy up. I want you to talk about him. As a position, this guy is just valuable to the Ravens in a hole. It doesn't matter who's playing that position. This position is just valuable.
Yeah, this is the play style. This guy is the play style for the Ravens. Get to the goal line and run. But if they choose the pass, there is one guy Lamar Jackson is looking for, and that person is Mark Andrews, ladies and gentlemen. His tight end yearly finishes over the last 5 years is tight end 4, tight end 4, tight end 1, tight end 3, and tight end 4. During that span, he averages 5 receptions, 60 yards a game, and a touchdown every other game. I like that. He is first in fantasy points per route run for tight ends and was tied for second in average points a game. With so many Ravens wide receivers coming and going, he has stayed and built a rapport with Jackson. Expect another good year from Mark Andrews.
Well, man, I heard a lot about the. I'm gonna call TMZ and be like, "Hey, dude, I don't know if you heard, but I heard a lot about the Baltimore wide receivers coming." You might want to check that out.
Just pause. Do like a 15
I heard
second
going
pause.
too. I heard and going, but all I heard was coming.
And going. So you want to check that out. You want to investigate that as soon as possible. ASAP.
Yeah, Jason. So, I mean, I think that the biggest thing from this was Isaiah Likely, Jason, tight end 3 for the last 5 weeks. So the Ravens had a bye, and then Isaiah Likely was, fully integrated into that offense, and he was tight end 3. So we're looking at Mark Andrews. Like, I have him as tight end 2 for a reason, man. Like, I think that he is better than Isaiah Likely, and it's likely that he will get more targets than that. And I like him more than McBride, and I fucking definitely like him more than Kelce. So as long as Andrews is healthy, dude, I don't see why he can't be tight end number 2 on the year. I don't see. It wouldn't surprise me, Jason, if he was tight end 1, no problem. And I love how you picked out. Shout out to Fantasy Pros, Jason, on the tight end finishes over the last 5 years.
Yep. I mean, that's very important. So you're drafting this guy, and it's like almost when he's healthy and he finishes the season, he's guaranteed top 5. He has not finished lower than 4. So you got to keep him up there. He is the guy for Lamar Jackson in that red zone when he decides to pass the ball. Dude, they just let go Odell Beckham. That's another wide receiver gone. And, the only person who's been there the entire time is Mark Andrews.
All right, Jason. L.A. Confidential over here.
Sam.
LaPorta.
LaPorta.
You know who was talking about him, dude?
Me.
Before the season started?
You?
I pushed him and Juwan Johnson. I was like, if you wait on the tight end, draft Sam LaPorta and Juwan Johnson. I heard that Sam LaPorta is just a pass-catching tight end, and he's going to, he's going to one of the best offensive lines, so he'll be able to get a lot of opportunities, I thought. And yeah, that worked out. It worked out, Jason. Juwan Johnson did not work out. I thought Juwan Johnson was going to be a top 5 tight end. He was for a couple weeks. But yeah, so I was wrong about that. But Sam LaPorta, I was super right on. He finished tight end 1 as a rookie, Jason. 5th in targets with 120. So that was 1 behind Kelce. So, I mean, if you're getting about the same amount of... But Kelce missed 2 games. But still, man, Sam LaPorta gets a decent amount of targets. Top 5 in targets. Top 5 in receiving yards. But that's not why he is number 1, Jason. It's not why. You remember Rob Gronkowski? You remember why he was good? Because he caught fucking touchdowns, dude.
Touchdowns.
I predicted, before we started the show, this was a long time ago, dude. I was like, Rob Gronkowski's going to get 10 touchdowns in his rookie years. He got 10 touchdowns. Sam LaPorta tied that, Jason, with 10 touchdowns. They've got Jameson Williams, that guy that is super inconsistent. Jameson Williams, I think his name is. Fastest man alive, but still. They got rid of Josh Reynolds. They have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's tiny. He's great in the, he's not the best in the red zone. And sometimes they drop some plays, behind the scrimmage and shit. That's pretty cool. But I'm just thinking, straight up jump balls and stuff. Dude, Sam LaPorta, Jason, when you watch those Lions games, he had so many opportunities in the red zone. I should have had his red zone opportunities right here, but I don't. He got 4 more touchdowns than any other tight end. 10. So, yeah, that's why you drafted him. That's where he got his points. he caught touchdowns in 4 of his last 7 games. So a lot of them came in the end of the season. That is what you want. And that included, four games of the 7 with touchdowns. And that one of those games, he had 3 touchdowns. And then 2 games before that, in that span, he had 140 reception yards. So you're looking at this guy, he's a rookie, having 3 touchdown games, having 140 reception yard games, on an offense with an amazing offensive line, so he doesn't have to stay back and block, with a quarterback that does not run the goddamn ball at all. Jason, I do not know how you can go wrong with Sam LaPorta. He's going late 3rd round. And to me, that is 1 round too early. I am drafting Marvin Harrison Jr. in the 3rd round and waiting on tight end a little bit. If he was going in the 4th round, I'd be all about him. But right now, he's going a little too early for me.
I had some statistics here, but Jamie just cracked me up in the chat. Two important stats of his is that he was 2nd in fantasy points per route run for tight ends, which is Amazeballs. 1st in, I can't remember the other one. Gosh dang it. Anyway, this is what he said. He's all, as an Iowa boy, I like Sam, LaPorta.
No, dude.
Sam LaPorta.
He understands us, Jason. Jamie understands
He
us.
gets us, man.
And I forgot, dude. I think it's black and gold, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. I think that might be Iowa, dog. I think that might be Iowa.
It is. Good job.
I don't know how I remember that, but I remember watching Sam LaPorta. I just remember Sam LaPorta, like, I was watching all the draft shit, and I was like, dude, that guy's a good at catching passes. I don't think he's good at anything else because, Michael Mayer was like, oh, he can block and catch passes. He can do this. This guy was just a pass catcher. Like, Sam LaPorta is just a pass catcher. But he went to the right place. So that was what I was thinking there.
I'll tell you why I won't get him in the 3rd round, right?
No, yeah, exactly.
Or there was 2 wide receivers, or there was a wide receiver and a tight end last year for that team that scored higher than expected fantasy points. It was Sam LaPorta and Amon-Ra St. Brown. So likely one of them 2 is going to regress. And if I really had to put money on it, I would put on Sam LaPorta. I still think he's going to be number 1.
You got lucky on the touchdowns, Jason. Like, if you want to think about that over expectation, you think about touchdowns, and you think about him leading the league and all that shit. But I think his yardage will go up. So I think he will be more, he'll be even more of a focal in this offense, Jason. So
yeah, he could still regress to 7 touchdowns and still be 1st in touchdowns for tight ends.
But so he's going late round 3, Jason. Andrews is going late round 5. There's no way in hell, dude. I'm taking him 2 rounds ahead of Andrews.
No. Ain't gonna happen.
So that's the problem there. So right now, LaPorta, you should hope he falls, man, because right now you don't want him. Andrews, I think, is a good value, Jason. Kelce can suck a dick. McBride, I can't remember. I did not have where he's going, but I think that he's okay. Ingram round 5, we think that is okay. And then we have Pitts round 7 you want to target. And maybe Ferguson round 7 you want to target. And that's about it, dude, on the top 10 tight ends.
Everybody else, you could just wait, and just try to pick up a gem in the late rounds.
So Jason and I are probably going to be fighting over Pitts in the 7th round maybe now. Sucks. And Ingram in the 5th round I think is safe, dude. I think I do not mind doing that. But there are some quarterbacks. Like, who would you rather draft, Jason? Dak Prescott or Evan Ingram?
I think in the 5th round.
Yeah.
Well, dude, it's all about that 7th round because you're telling me I could get Kyler Murray in the 7th.
So that is shitty, dude. Maybe I'll have to go around early on tight ends. Get Pitts in the 6th, Kyler Murray in the 7th.
Lucky number 11, right? I don't know.
But Jason, all my mock drafts, the ones I've liked the most have been like wide receiver, running back, wide receiver, running back, wide receiver, running back. Just filling out my running back and wide receivers, and then like round 7 hitting the fucking quarterback and tight ends.
Yeah, well, if you put me with that question, if I had to pick, I would definitely do Dak Prescott in the 5th, and then Kyle Pitts if I can.
I think I would rather go Dak over him as well. because quarterback are so important, and Dak can be the number one quarterback in the league. Jason, that is the show. Thank you so much for watching, man. Top 10 tight ends. We got drunk, went a little long. It is what it is, man. We will be back. What'd you say?
Show your image.
Share my image. Yeah, you're right. Let me share my image.
Let's just end
it.
You
guys stuck around, man. You guys stuck around. So these are our tight end rankings. Take a screenshot. Do whatever you want, man. Loose tiers on there. And yeah. So we are going to be releasing all these for free before the draft. We will be adding a Patreon before the season starts as well. So if you want to donate, that'd be amazing. And that's how we're going to make money, dude. It's probably via Patreon until we get to 1,000, but still. So we're going to be just sharing all of our thoughts and all of our information. So if you want to donate, that'd be amazing again. And remember, Listener League, participate, man, and you will get in. There's 2 more spots and potentially 6 more spots. So get your ass rolling, dog. I'm going to stop sharing. This is a Fantasy Red Zone. Hopefully we're going to thumbs up. Hopefully we earned a subscription, man. We need 8,000. We need your help. Hopefully you had fun tonight just like us, man. We talked a lot about tight ends. Holy shit. Can't believe how long we went, but when you're drinking and having fun with your best friend, Jason,
time doesn't exist.
It's hard, dude. Time is just a relative thing.
That's what she
Time
said.
is just a relative thing. And Jason, please send us out.
So we got a video coming out. I think you've been mentioning kind of doing a mock draft.
Yeah, maybe mock draft on because I will not be able to do my mock draft Mondays, like I said, Mother's Day instead of mock draft Monday. But guess what, dude? That's got to happen because my mom will kill me. My mom will cry, and then I will cry.
Yeah, let's do maybe let's do a mock draft for next week and see what happens for Tuesday. Make sure everyone goes out there. Show much love to all the mothers because it is their special weekend. And I'll talk to you in the video coming up. Deuces.
Jason, dude, your arm looks badass, man, with that tattoo. I can see it.
You mean this
one? Look at Jason, dude. 22-inch pythons, dog.
Cramp.
This is a Fantasy Red Zone, and we appreciate you.